very good evening and welcome to CBC Business Outlook. Today we're going straight in focus, but as we know it, the Zambian economy depends on every form of business, and trust me, be it the formal sector, informal sector, they all do contribute greatly to the economy. I'm your host, Jimmy KANASHA, and right next to me is a very interesting gentleman, and usually mistaken for the other gentleman whom he shares at least a name and a half with. That's Mr. EDMOND who is the Bars and Nightclub Owners Association of Zambia Secretary General. Welcome, Mr. Lifwekelo.
Yeah, thank you very much for hosting me, and good evening, viewers.
Indeed, it's good to have you on the program today.
No, it's my pleasure also to be here. I think this is also becoming my second home.
Indeed, it's always home for you.
Yeah, it's there as my home.
Indeed. Now, I know people. Before we go any further, I think people need to understand what this name, the term Bars and Nightclub Owners Association of Zambia is. Most people are referring to, some people, I'll say, some sections of society think it's a Chakola's club or something, but
yes.
You know, just help us define that.
Okay. You know, from the name itself, Jimmy, Bars and Nightclubs Owners Association of Zambia. This is an association which was registered in accordance with the laws of Zambia and the Societies Act. It's an association which represents the interests of various bars and nightclub owners. It was registered on the 18th of September last year, in 2019. Actually, contrary to what people are thinking, that name it's just been registered because of COVID-19. We've been around for some time actually. Yeah, we came together because of the challenges which have been facing in the sector and misconception actually arising out of the sector, whereby society was heaping blame vices on bars and nightclubs, that it's contributing much to the moral decay. Much in that also is, there's been a time when the government, I think in the past has been passing various laws, in relation to regulation of the industry, statutory instruments, to regulate our operating hours, and so many things. And as bar owners were excluded from decision making. These are things whereby, as government, we just meet somewhere, we just inform. This is what is happening now. The amendments, there are amendments to the Liquor Licensing Act. This thing. So we thought actually, I think it's quite very, very unfair. We need to be consulted because we thought we are the major stakeholders actually in the industry, whereby we should have an input. So the decision actually for us now, finally registered, the association came about last year in April, when government approved the national alcohol policy, the draft national alcohol policy. We looked at the policy, as bar owners, and we saw that it was going to affect our businesses actually negative. And at that time, there was a word from government, actually, I think to be specific, from the Minister of National Guidance and the Business Affairs, that she wanted to take the policy to Parliament to make it law. And we looked at the contents, actually, it spoke about reducing our operating hours from 18 to 21. It just spoke about a lot of things. So we thought, I think, we went to government at that time, and then they said, no, but, how, in what capacity? You're not represented. And we looked around, everyone was forming associations, the puppeteers had their own associations, even the street vendors had their own association. Indeed. The minibus drivers had their own association. So we had no platform in which to get government.
So there was no one to speak for you?
Not
as our bar owners and nightclub owners?
Literally no one. These are the challenges which we're facing. So we grouped up with colleagues, who owns bars and nightclubs. Says, I think why can't we, have this, so that I think we should engage government. And the aim actually of that one is, let's engage government first on the national alcohol policy. And I think it worked. We came together. There were challenges in this time. We met a lot of obstacles, especially from our line ministry, which is the Ministry of Local Government, because they are the ones who are supposed to commend us, to the chief of the self-society. Even our constitution, where it is right now, I think it was amended several times. By the ministry, can you change this? Can you change this? Until finally, I think we satisfied all the requirements. And we were registered, we were given a certificate on the 18th of September. And until then now, I think, there's no looking backward. I think, this is where we are right now. And, we've been working quite very well with the government.
Wonderful.
Because one of our objectives is, I think, as much as we represent the interests of powers and entrepreneurs, but also I think we are also a bridge between the powers owners and the local government, and the government and the central government, and the local authorities, to ensure that there's dialogue, in between the government. And I think we'll fare quite so well. I can assure you that even the last time when this country experienced the cholera outbreak, that was last year, this association played a very critical role, to an extent that the then local government minister, Honorable Vincent Mari, actually said, no, I think churches should close. But bars, let them remain open. There was an outcry. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do remember it clearly.
Yeah, it's because of the role actually which we played as an association actually together with the ministry to ensure that I think our members observe the strictest hygiene standards. So I think we've got a track record.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now let's talk about membership as well quickly. How's the membership faring so far? Are bar owners registering with this association so far, or do you have everybody on the boat as yet?
Absolutely, we have got a tremendous response. Actually, I think over the past 2 or 3 months, we have been very much overwhelmed. I can assure you that as of yesterday, our membership across the country stood at somewhere about 6,700 members across the country. We've got members in Kasempa, we've got members in Kazungola, we've got members in Bika, we have got members in Kasam. But like what I'm saying, registration is ongoing. Our estimation is that there are close to 300,000 bars and nightclubs across the country. So as you can see, just 6,000 is just a fraction. Right now, it's a situation whereby you come to a secretariat and the showdown right now is members are calling from far. Everyone wants to jump on that. They want to be part and parcel because they've seen the benefits. We've told them come on board, we work together. If you run a bar and a nightclub, you are all come on board so that I think we speak one language for the common good of all of us. So membership right now is we are quite encouraged actually by the support we receive.
Wonderful. That is wonderful news. Now, because of this membership and already because of this situation, and I'm glad you mentioned the fact that the association was actually put in place way before COVID-19 actually struck our country, Zambia, and the rest of the globe, sadly. But because of COVID-19, we saw that a lot of businesses were closed down. That's bars and nightclubs inclusive. And recently, the president issued statements where he allowed certain parts of the Zambian industry to reopen, to resume. That's schools, casinos, gyms, and except bars and nightclubs. And as an association, probably I believe you've been affected greatly. What's your take on that?
We've been affected, actually negatively affected almost 100%. Because Jimmy, you agree with me. If your business where you are dependent on, the business where you are feeding your family, a business which you depend on taking your children to school, if it's closed, if it's shut down for 3 months, without any sort of assistance, without any sort of compensation, that in itself, I think it's quite a very, very huge blow. Right now, Jimmy, I can tell you that most of our members actually, most of them actually, more than 70%, are not even looking forward to the opening. They're not even happy about it. They're not even excited about it. Because they've literally run broke. They've utilized all their savings. Our industry, the majority of our members, these businesses aren't they have nothing much to talk about. You go to their banks, it's just about book balances. You see, the bad part about it actually is that we were close towards the month. That was on the 27th of March. It was on a Thursday towards the weekend. This is the time when our businesses peak, whereby we expect at least to have something. And our businesses, Jimmy, is we don't deal on cash basis, mostly it's on credit basis. So our members have borrowed heavily after doing that because no one anticipated the project. In anticipation of the weekend, which was going to fall on a month end. So they had huge stocks, huge stocks which they had borrowed. Then suddenly the hammer just came, can you close? They were stuck, with all these things. In the beginning, our creditors, they understood. Says, no, this is a presidential directive. The president is talking about 14 days. So I think 14 days we renegotiated the loan facility. We can wait for 14 days. So even at that time, we had challenges because we thought, what happened to some of the stock? Because most of the stock actually is perishable. Those actually who knows, especially laggards and cyber, that got expired dates. So we saw, no, 14 days, I think we can be able to manage. After the 14 days, we were told there's an extension. That's when I think we started becoming concerned. And in the beginning, this was a new virus. Nobody knew about it. So there were strict patrols actually. I think it was being monitored by the council, by government itself, by the mayor, the Saga province minister, to a situation whereby you can't even go and inspect what's happening inside the bar. The moment you just open the door,
there's somebody
they're already behind, why are you opening? So even during that period, our members were being victimized in such a manner that stocks were being taken away from the premises, and it was quite bad. We tried to engage government at that time, but it was more like a taboo to speak about the bar, at that time. So our plea was, can you allow us at least to dispose of the stock? Just dispose of the stock. Because if we got it, after people now started, the creditors started, bouncing on our members, no, we need our money back. Because it's a chain reaction. So we borrowed from banks, so can we have our money back? But that again, it fell on deaf ears, and then we started pushing government, at least, okay, can you allow us to sell and take our places so that we clear off the stock? Again, it fell on deaf ears. Until I can tell you that our members have lost in terms of stocks, not only in business, not only in business, because the amount actually which the lost in business, it runs into thousands of dollars. By this I mean about the daily sales.
And how much beyond just the business? It
runs into millions. Actually, I can tell you just one thing. An average bar, maybe just a small bar. You talk about, in a week, one or so. If you talk about Thursdays, this is when our business start picking. We are capable of selling 5,000 kwacha on the Wednesday 5. So I can say in a week, an average bar will sell something about 2,000 kwacha. You multiply that by 4. You're talking about 88,000 kwacha in a month. This is a small bar. This is a small bar, just maybe with an average of 3 employees. But we've got members actually who are huge nightclubs around our shopping malls. They're employing up to 250 people. These actually they make even close to $1 million just over a weekend. Now to shut down. Actually, we are just compiling the total losses. Actually, it runs into millions. Then on top of that, again, we're putting about the stocks.
So what's the average estimate amount so far? You said you're going into millions, roughly. And give us an estimation of how much has been lost.
We are talking of not less than 3 million. Not less than.
That's countrywide.
No, I'm just talking about our members right now.
Or just the membership? The
membership, because this is where we're having the record, the membership.
Okay, so beyond the membership, it could be larger. It could be wider.
It's wider. One thing we shouldn't downplay this is that our sector contributes actually very immensely to the economic growth of this country, to the GDP growth of this country. In terms of taxes, in terms of just revenue. Government actually there's so much money. So if we talk about countrywide actually, already I told you our estimation from the surveys which have carried out, there could be close to 300,000 bars across the country. So we are trying to be a voice for the voiceless. We're still compiling this data. We are speaking for these people, but it runs millions actually, huge amounts. Not only us as the bar owners, of course we've been affected. Because your question, Jimmy, is about how it has affected us as bar owners. This is how it affected, but I can assure you, even the economy of the country has suffered because of the closure of this industry.
Indeed.
Because of the role how it plays, the role what it plays to the economy. Not only bars, the closure of bars has impacted negatively on various activities in society. I'll just give you an example very quickly. Is the other day we were chatting with some taxi drivers, lawmakers there. There was this taxi driver was telling us, he drives his money there. and he's telling us since the bars and the nightclubs closed, he hasn't had the 500 party. He has never held a 500 party in his hand. Because taxi drivers actually depend on bars. People who go to they'll make money from places where they simply. So this has been a very huge loss, very big blow on them. Restaurants, just where we are here, Jimmy, nearby just behind us, there's Kawata KCC.
Yes.
You go to that area. I'll tell you that there are more than 11 restaurants around that place. Even this afternoon I was there. There are more than 11 restaurants around that area. And there are more than 40 bars,
Yes.
and more than 11 restaurants. The president opened the industry for the restaurants some few weeks ago. Says, can you operate now full time from being takeaway? Can you now start selling full time? Right now, just go there. I will tell you that there are only 2 restaurants which have opened.
So you're saying it's not just the bars and nightclubs that have been really affected. Even the ones that have been given the freedom to operate currently still depend on bars and nightclubs.
They depend on bars and nightclubs. Restaurants, actually, it's more than 90%. They depend on bars and nightclubs. I'll tell you that these businesses which are the cases, I'm just giving about KCC. Just in this, just in Kawata, you can go to so many areas. You can go in Chilenge, you go to Chow Store. You find that, owners of restaurants, they position them in such a way that they are near drinking places. For the simple reason that if someone goes to drink, they want to eat something.
Yes.
You close those facilities, and the restaurants also, they'll be thrown in disarray. So they have been negatively affected. I can tell you that one. Not only to that, because we've done surveys us as an association. The other time we were talking to this filling station prepared on Ibex Hill. He was telling us since the closure of bars and nightclubs, he has witnessed low incomes coming in. Filling stations. For the simple reason is they are saying over the weekends this is a period when we used to make a lot of money as filling stations. Because when you talk about drinking, if we talk about bars, Jimmy, it's not just a place where you just go to intoxicate yourself. These are social places. The social aspect, like over the weekend, the social activities. You want today, you are here. Tomorrow, you are there. Yes. This time you are here. At this hour, you are here. You move a bit.
I know we're running behind time,
okay.
but quickly, possibly, maybe within a minute, maybe you could answer this question. Just recently, the president issued a statement through his secretary, Mr. Isaac Chipampe, stating that bars and nightclubs will still remain closed until further notice. And we've already observed that certain bars, and especially bars, have still been operating, even behind curtains. Are we going to see a lot of rebellion? And already there's a statement that's purported that you issued saying that those bars that have opened should continue. What's going on there?
Okay, it's quite a bit. I wish I had time, but otherwise, I think just very, very quickly, Jimmy, yes, of course, I need to confirm that we issued a directive because, of the various challenges which we faced, actually, which I just alluded to. It is a situation whereby we are not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel. I will tell you quickly that we had a consultative meeting with government, as ordered by the Republican President on the 27th of May, where the Minister of Local Government himself reassured us that what we've agreed here, I'm passing them over to the President, and he assured us that bars and nightclubs are going to open in a week. But right now it's more than 3 weeks down the line, and every time actually we inquire, and we are not seeing anything happen. Right in the end, the Honorable Minister came and said, "My hands are tied. Everything is back in the hands of the President. So there's nothing we can do." We try to engage. We wrote a letter to the President. I can assure you, the President wrote a letter to the President telling him to intervene.
Mr. LIFWEKELO, we'll definitely have to continue this conversation. Hopefully during the course of the week we might have Mr. LIFWEKELO back on the program so we can actually expand more and see the way forward. And that is Mr. Edmond. He's not the politician who's Edwin, no. This is Mr. Edmond LIFWEKELO, who is the Bar and Nightclubs Owners Association of Zambia Secretary General. and be sure to join us next time so that we can actually continue this conversation. Thank you so much for gracing us today.
It's been my pleasure, and thank you for having me on the program.
Indeed. All right, viewers, so do continue to stay COVID free, and regardless of where you are, I know the people that enjoy bars and nightclubs are actually supporting this league, but don't forget, stay COVID free, wash your hands with running water and soap every time, and at least you have hand sanitizer. Also wear a face mask in public. I know we're not wearing it now, but yeah, because we're on TV, but definitely do stick around. I'm Jimmy KANASHA. Till next time, it's good day.